What type of negative entity attachment do you have? Do you have a demon? Or do you have a reptilian? Do you have a wayward spirit? Do you have someone who has died on earth and is coming to haunt you? Do you have a gargoyle or a frog? I don't care. I know this sounds strange and it sounds counterintuitive, but I don't care. It doesn't matter what type of negative entity you have. The type of negative entity you have, it means nothing, because what matters is you. Let's get started in talking about negative entity attachments and how it's not important at all to figure out what kind you have and actually how detrimental that is. Let's get started. Okay, a lot of times people come to me and they say, Xane, I've got a negative entity. I'm possessed. What kind of thing is possessing me? I really want to know what's attached to me. It's really important. Is it this? Is it that? Is it this? And I always say the same thing. It doesn't matter at all. As a matter of fact, I don't care. Because what if I told you that it was a demon? What are you going to think at that point? You're going to go, oh my gosh, I knew it. It's a demon. It's the worst possible thing we could ever have. How am I ever going to get rid of it? Do you think, if I said to you that you have a demon, do you go, oh good, it's just a demon, we'll take care of that? No, of course not. You think the opposite. You think, oh my gosh, legends say that demons are more powerful than souls. They keep you in eternal punishment. A soul can't do anything against a demon. So how am I ever going to do anything against a demon? I definitely have to find someone to get rid of it for me. I've got to find an exorcist. I've got to find a Xane. I've got to find somebody to remove it. Well, I'm here to tell you that you're taking all the wrong approaches, all of the wrong approaches. Everything I just said there is going to help you retain this entity. So what do we do instead? Well, first of all, it isn't about the entity, it's about you. Negative entities are attracted to a particular vibrational frequency. The frequency you carry with you every day as you observe yourself, as you observe the world around you, as you have interactions and experiences with loved ones, and maybe it's an abusive relationship, with work, with an abusive boss, whatever it is, what you carry, what vibration you carry is what you're going to attract. Are you going to think about how you look at life right now? Do you look at life as this amazing gift every single day and love everything and everyone in it, and no matter what happens to you, you remain in joy? Or are you the exact opposite of that? I'm oppressed by my relationship. I'm oppressed by my work. I can't make enough money. Everybody's horrible. Look at all the destruction of the planet and the animals and the abuse that we're all taking and all the ways that we can die. And oh my gosh, this is just a screwed up world. If you are more in that category, then your vibration is nice and low. You are easy pickings for any type of negative entity. If you look at the world as this beautiful and amazing place, then you are very hard for a negative entity to attach itself to. And this can come from childhood trauma as well. You could say that everything's peachy and everything's wonderful, but deep down you've got buried within you this childhood trauma, this abuse. And that is also an attractive place for negative entities to latch themselves onto you. So why is it that it's a problem to go to somebody, to an exorcist, or to someone else to remove a negative entity or a demon? It's not necessarily a problem, but it's a very 3D approach. It is not a 5D approach to go to somebody else. A 5D approach is to realize that you can take care of it yourself. Now, what I get is people who come to me who want me to remove it for them, and instead I teach them how. That is the method that will always work, and it'll work for the rest of your life. If you go to somebody else and they remove it for you, you go, yay, it's gone. And maybe a year, or maybe a month, or maybe a week, or maybe a day, or maybe even an hour later, the entity comes back or a new one comes to take its place. And then you go, oh no, I've got to go have it removed again. And then you might set up some sort of recurring experience where you go to your healer once a week to remove your entities. that's not a very sustainable thing. It's really great for the healer because they get a consistent income from you. But it's not great for you because you're still looking at this spiritual experience that you're having as a 3D one. And by that I mean, in a 3D experience, you go to a doctor to heal you. You go to church to learn the Word of God because you can't access it yourself. You go to somebody else who is experienced at that. So in a 5D experience, you know you can access the Word of God, you know you can heal yourself, and you know you can raise your vibrational frequency. But what if you come to this realization and you're saying, well, I don't know how to raise my frequency. I don't know how to step into my power. That's where I come in and I help you do that. But anyway, the other thing about knowing what type of entity you have is, what if you discover that it is a demon? How are you ever going to step into your power to overcome that? What if you discover that it's a butterfly? Well, okay, you say, oh my gosh, I've got a butterfly negative entity attachment? That I don't even think that exists, but you picture it so differently. Oh, I've got a butterfly on me? Okay, bye, and you're done, right? Because you are not subject to eternal torment from a demon. Have you ever heard anybody say, I am possessed for all of eternity by a bunny rabbit? No, of course not, because it doesn't make any sense. Fear is such a huge element of negative entity attachments. You are not afraid of a bunny rabbit or a butterfly, but you're certainly afraid of a demon. And what do they do? What do negative entities do? They try to make you feel as afraid as possible. They try to make you feel as hopeless as possible. It's their tactic. It's their best tactic, actually. They really can't hurt you in any other way unless you allow them to. So what I'm doing is I'm helping people step into their power so that it doesn't matter what kind of entity they have. An entity is actually just a symptom of the larger problem. And that larger problem is what we're going to actually address. So I'm excited because this works. It works over and over and over again. I've had more than 100 people through my program, and they're so much better off now. So I hope that you might consider it too if you're suffering from negative entities. And you can find links below to set up a call with me or whatever. But even if you don't decide to do that, just knowing that negative entities are not a curse. Here's another thing. They are actually helping you. Oh, it sounds horrible because in the way that they're helping you, it's so negative. It's the worst possible way for them to help you because they torture you, they make you miserable, they make you suffer. Well, they do that so that you're driven to take the right action. Now, the right action is to raise your frequency and to change your life and discover your mission and discover your spiritual gifts. That happens over and over and over again. The people that come to me are incredible light workers that are connected to the spirit world. They're just connected to the negative spirit world instead of the positive one. So we correct that, and now instead of them hearing negative voices, they're hearing positive ones. They're talking to angels or collectives or ascended masters. That's where we want to get you. The other thing that I see all the time is that people come to me who are overthinkers. Oh my gosh, I'm an overthinker, I get it. Overthinking is a curse because when you overthink about trying to solve problems that are unsolvable by the mind. The mind is trying to solve the problem. It's an evolutionary tactic. It's our survival mechanism. We don't have sharp claws and armor. We have these brains, and these brains are always trying to solve problems. Oh, there could be alligators. I'm in Florida right now. So, there could be alligators over here. I've got to be really careful about that. That is a perfect 3D use of this brain. Okay, I don't want to get too close to that. I want to make sure I see where the alligators are, right? But if you're saying to yourself, okay, well, I've got to try to get rid of this negative entity. Why is it attached to me? How do I do this? What's the problem? I don't know how to solve this problem. I'm trying this. I'm putting salt here. I'm doing this ritual. I'm doing this. It's not working. I don't get it. What's wrong with me? I'm not good enough. You see what can happen as we go through this process of trying to solve problems that are not very easy for our 3D brains to solve. And so what happens, we end up in the lower vibrational emotional experiences. You feel frustrated, you feel impatient, you feel maybe unworthiness because you can't figure out how to do it. You think you're not good enough, on and on. So what we're doing in the program is we're helping you by overthinking about how you can be grateful, about how you can be excited, about how you can be optimistic, about how you can be in acceptance and how you can have unconditional love. If we overthink about those things, then our vibrational frequency raises through the roof. These are some of the tactics that I use to help people overcome negative entity attachments. And there's so many. That's why I've created a program for it. So if you're interested, check in the link below. What I'd like to do right now is do a temporary removal of any negative entity attachment that you may have. For some of you, it will be a permanent removal. It will actually remove it and you're done because you've already done the work. You've done the work, you've raised your frequency, but you've got a carry-on bag on your plane ride throughout life. So all we've got to do is take that bag and throw it out the plane and we're good. And so that's what this activation will do. For some of you who haven't yet done the work or you have only done part of the work, it will temporarily remove it and then it'll come back until you take care of the issues that you need to take care of, until you discover your spiritual gifts, until you get on your path. So go ahead and close your eyes and take a nice big deep breath. And relax as you exhale. Feel yourself sinking into your chair, to the bed, to the floor, wherever it is that you're sitting or laying on. In this activation, what we're going to do is we're going to remove the negative entity attachment, and this comes very quickly and very easily. I'm going to say breath in, and when I do, you're going to take a nice big deep breath. You're going to hold it at the top, and you're going to wait for me to say the word awaken. It'll be explosive and loud, so don't be too surprised. And then, after I've made that sound, you can exhale. This will be the removal of the negative entity attachment or attachments that you're experiencing right now. Breath in. Awake! Good. That's all there is to it. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Thank you so much for participating in that activation. That's the other thing that I do in the program is hours of activations. That was, seconds, right? We're doing things to raise your vibration, to raise your frequency, to change your energy signature, to change your energy field. This process, along with all the tools and the tips and the training, and all the practice that you're going to do will make it so that negative entities are never a problem for you. But not only that, you'll be happier in general. You'll love your life. You'll love life experiences. You'll realize why you're here, and you'll probably just start to discover some of your spiritual gifts. So thank you again. And the other thing that I highly recommend is that you download the Halo Chakra Activation, which will offer a little bit more protection against negative entities. And you can download that for free off of my website, and you can get a link to that in the description below. And like I said, if you'd like to set up a call with me to talk about how I can help you raise your frequency, remove negative entities yourself, and have an incredible life for the rest of your life, then you can do that with a link in the description below as well. Thank you once again for participating, for watching, for commenting and liking. Tell me your experience. Tell me what you're dealing with. I'd love to hear it, and I'd love to help. I love you unconditionally, and I'll see you in the next video.